To say that CHAZ has devolved into chaos would be a horrifying understatement. According to a medic, it's like a war zone. According to one witness, the Seattle Chop Zone Armed Security, or as I like to call them, the Chazistani National Guard. This witness says they fired 300 rounds on the night they killed a 16-year-old black kid who was driving this vehicle and critically injured his 14-year-old passenger. In new video that's emerging, you can hear what allegedly is one of the Chazistani National Guardsmen saying, "Oh, you're still alive? You want to get pistol whipped?" We don't know exactly what happened this night when the shooting occurred. But I got to tell you, man, I've been listening to some of the audio. I've been doing some research. And one of the live streamers on the ground at the time of this shooting said there have been several shootings that we're now learning are unreported. Why? Because when the shootings happen and no one gets hit, nobody reports on it. For real, that's it. So apparently, according to this live streamer, and I don't know how we confirm this, he said earlier in the day, twice on two different incidents, there were shootings. Why aren't we hearing about this? Why doesn't this come out in the press? Because no one got hit, so nobody reported it. And the Chazistanis won't tell you this. They're not going to come out and volunteer this information like, hey, everybody, we just want you to know somebody was firing their gun in Cal Anderson Park earlier today. But on the live stream, they will mention it. So if you're paying attention, you're hearing this. Let me just wrap this up for you. CHAZ is in total chaos. They're completely unable to do anything about it. The mayor is freaking out. They marched to her house. Now she's blaming someone else. Seattle is falling apart, okay? Businesses are furious. They're suing. The cops can't do anything. The Chazistanis will not back down. They are armed, entrenched, and it is getting worse. So what does the mayor do? She's demanding that action be taken against another city council member for protesting her. What a pathetic and broken city. It's sad, man. Seattle's a nice place, but this is just utter chaos. And what's really amazing is how it takes so few people for a city like Seattle of like 500,000 people to descend into complete and total chaos. Now you've got people being shot and killed. There are some reports that here's what we're hearing, right, about these kids in this car. We're hearing that they were like driving around and doing donuts and firing randomly. So the Chazistani National Guard started shooting at them, unloading on them. Now, this medic who says 300 rounds, I don't know if I believe that. You mean to tell me that these Chazistani National Guards guys have got multiple clips on them? And they're like, you know, firing, bam, 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 reloading. I really don't think 300 rounds were fired. In the video, it sounds like maybe more than a dozen, maybe a couple dozen. But what some people are saying is that these kids actually weren't doing anything other than joyriding. And the National Guard, fearing, the Chazistani National Guard, fearing that it was an attack, just started unloading on the car, killing these kids who then crashed once they were shot. In the video, you can hear what sounds like some kind of bang before you hear what sounds like a car crashing into a barricade of some sort. I don't know. I wasn't there. Can't tell you. I can tell you got multiple reports. Nobody really knows. The cops aren't allowed in and will probably never know, except for the people who are on the ground. But I can tell you, these shootings are taking place. And when people don't get hit, nobody says a thing. That's Seattle right now. That's man, I'll tell you what. Well, they're trying to clear it out, but they can't do it. Check this out. CHOP avoids CHOP. Defiant occupants of Seattle's cop-free zone rebuild barricades, fortify their compound minutes after the city attempted to reclaim the war zone. You know what, man? I'm getting sick of talking about it. I'm getting sick of hearing about it. The mayor is such a pathetic, spineless, ineffective leader. You need the police. Have you not even thought about this yet? Well, we've got all these protesters that won't let us come and clean up. Have you considered, I don't know, getting a bunch of cops, having them put on, say, some armor and take a shield and marching through the neighborhood? You know why? These fringe wackos taking over your city do not represent your constituents. They do not represent the people. They are a group of opportunistic morons who are playing stupid games and winning many, many stupid prizes, including now multiple people dead. And as far as I can tell, more than 6 or 7 various different shootings, depending on if you believe the live streamers. We've got 5 confirmed shootings because people are actually hit by bullets. And what about the moments where he says people have been shooting but nobody got hit? How many of those have gone unreported? And you still won't clean this up. You know what the mayor, in all of her stupidity, is doing right now? Instead of dealing with this problem, she's complaining. She's complaining that the other city councilwoman is protesting and she wants her expelled. How about you stop bickering about politics and you stop demanding some kind of action against a councilwoman, and you get the police department to go through CHAZ, make some arrests, try and de-escalate. And if they can't do it, then you gotta clear these people out and restore order. Could you imagine if someone like her became president? Help us if Joe Biden becomes president. Seriously. Someone like her, Joe Biden, is going to be sleeping in the basement. He's going to be in a wheelchair with a little blanket on his lap, and there's going to be fires and explosions, and people are going to be screaming, Joe, help us. And he's going to be like, oh, what? Hey, well, I'll tell you what, the thing. And people are going to be like, what? This is what you get with spineless leadership. Look at this. This is what you, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Take a look at this. They tried to clear out the CHAZ. They can't do it. In New York City, they have set up another occupation. And you see on like Twitter, they're like people dancing and they're like, this is what the CHAZ, the New York City occupation is really like. Meanwhile, they're like fighting cops and like grabbing barricades and running and people are getting arrested and they're defacing, monuments and stuff. But it's all just happy dancing. Over in the CHAZ shop, completely unable to stop this. Check this out. They say they rebuilt barricades in just minutes. Protesters were then filmed putting up plastic barriers, couches, and trash cans in an attempt to replace the concrete barricades. Protesters move a couch and other items to replace concrete barricades cleared by the Seattle Department of Transportation workers at the intersection of 10th Avenue and Pine Street Tuesday. I tell you what, man, you know what comes next? And I'm worried about this. What happens when a city worker is told to go in there and they get shot? How much? We don't know who's getting shot or why. We have no idea what's going on. What happens when one of these workers comes in and they're like, I don't know, man, they just want me to move this, and then someone shoots them? Why would I expect otherwise when these people literally tried claiming it was an autonomous zone? When is the mayor going to get up out of her, when is she going to actually do her job? There was a post I talked about. I was on a Reddit page for the CHAZ, and someone said that the mayor is going to lose re-election because of this. And people are like, no, she isn't. The people of Seattle support this. Not anymore. Yeah, she's going to lose. She's definitely going to lose, in my opinion. Okay, maybe I'll be wrong. We'll see how things play out. But I have to imagine regular people watching all this go down and an ineffective, spineless mayor unable to stop the graffiti, the vandalism. Why would they vote for her? She can't do anything. I'll put it this way. Let's say, your dog barfs on your floor, right? And you're like, man, I got to go to work. I don't got time to clean this up. I got it. I'll hire someone to clean my house for me while I work, right? So you make a phone call. They say, we'll be right over. We will clean up while you do your thing, right? So these people come over and you're like, great, I got to go to work now. You come back, the barf's still there. And you're like, yo, the barf is still on my floor. I hired you to clean it up. And they're like, we're going to try discussing the barf and figuring out why it's still there. And then you're like, dude, I paid you to just get rid of it and make sure this place stays clean. You see what I'm trying to say? If you elect a mayor to make your city run properly and they can't do it and people are getting shot, why would you reelect this person? And what are the priorities of this mayor? This morning, Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan transmitted a letter to the city council urging members to take action against Councilwoman Sawant, up to and including expulsion. The letter listed several accusations against Sawant that the mayor thinks are grounds to do so, including allowing hundreds of protesters into City Hall hours after putting safety of city workers at risk, leading a protest to the mayor's home, despite the fact her address is protected due to threats stemming from her work as a U.S. attorney, using her position to encourage protesters to occupy city property, the East Precinct. Mayor Durkan wrote in the letter, policy disagreements do not justify a council member who potentially uses their position in violation of law or who recklessly undermines the safety of others, all for political theater. What an absolutely pathetic politician. Jenny Durkan should be recalled immediately. Whatever, man, I don't live there. You guys vote for whatever you want up in Seattle. That's your business, not mine. I'll tell you how I feel about it as an American, though. I think this is absolutely insane. That it's come to this point where you can have multiple shootings, some dead people, and this just keeps happening. They can't do anything about it because what I mean to say is they could. The police could come in and do something about it. No. Welcome to politics. Your city is crumbling before your very eyes. The businesses are suing. Let me tell you, to these businesses filing a lawsuit who said, we don't want to badmouth the protesters. Grow a spine. These are not protesters. Stop placating these people. The St. Louis couple who came out with guns, you know, they issued a statement saying, like, we support the protests and civil rights. We are just mad at the white people. Keep bending the knee. Keep doing it and see if anybody cares to come to your defense. I'm sitting back and I'm watching Seattle, you know, basically crumble in becoming a war zone. And what happens when these people start expanding the chop because no one can stop them? They're emboldened now. You try taking out the barricades. They don't care. These people are armed. The shootings haven't stopped. You need to just clear it out, okay? Regular people understand why police don body armor and march in the streets making arrests. Not because they're evil, you know, stormtroopers. Sometimes there's police brutality and sometimes they go too far for sure. But there is no constitutional right to maintain an occupation of a city where people are getting shot and killed. That's not a First Amendment thing. I'm sorry. You want to go out and peaceably assemble. I believe it'd be fair to say that barricading off parts of streets and seizing property isn't included in the First Amendment. But by all means, have your policy disputes. This city council member should be expelled. No, you should be expelled. Yes, she should be expelled too. But get rid of all of them. You know what my position is right now? And it's been this for a while. I said it, what, a year ago? Just get rid of all the incumbents. Every single one. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. Congress, gone. You're all fired. We'll rehire some other people. I know. I'm taking a leap from Seattle to Congress, but that's how I feel. I'm just sick of these politicians who can't get anything done. I'm not going to pretend like I could do anything better, you know, but I can say there's too many do-nothing politicians who are just like, well, I'm just going to sit here. I have the job, you know, and I'll get fired next year. Fine. Whatever, man. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.